What is going on, everybody? Back like we never left for another episode of the daily NBA show here at X Factor. We had a lot of games to get into last night, so like always, we're just gonna hop right into it. But before we begin, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell some friends. We appreciate all the love we've been getting here lately. Let's continue. Let's get momentum rolling. We'll start off here in Washington as the Wizards came out on top of 107 to 106. This is gonna be the story of a lot of games from last night. There was a lot of games on. There was a lot of close games on. This was a close game. Kyle Kuzma came up big for the Wizards to give them the win. For the Heat, they only played seven players. No Bam, no Jimmy Butler, no Duncan Robinson, no Gabe Vincent, no Tyler Hero, still no Victor Oladipo. Hayward Highsmith played 41 minutes. Caleb Martin played 47. Max Strus played 45, and Kyle Lowry played 50. So not ideal for the Heat, and they were still really close. Kyle Lowry played great, though. I mean, he had 24, 10, and 15. 8 of 23 from the field, so not great there. But, I mean, still a triple-double for Kyle Lowry. Really nice. Hayward Highsmith had 12 and 14. Nikola Jovic had 18. Max Strus with 22. Just missing more than half your team, only playing seven guys, and having an old Kyle Lowry play 50 minutes is kind of insane, and only lose by one is pretty impressive. For the Washington Wizards, though, Porzingis had 20 and 17 and 5. He's being pretty consistent for them when he is playing. I do like that. I hope that can continue because this could make a Washington Wizards team really fun to watch if he's consistent. Bradley Beal chipped in with 27 and 8. Kyle Kuzma had 21, 8 and 5. Rui Hachimura continues to be solid for them off the bench. He had 13, 8 and 3. And Corey Kispert chipped in with 17 off the bench. He shot 6 of 9 from the field, 5 of 8 from 3. Cleveland Cavaliers finally get an important win for them after losing five in a row. They came out on top 132 to 122 over the Charlotte Hornets. For the Hornets, PJ Washington 28 and 10. If you watched our trade video that I came out with a couple days ago, and if you haven't watched that yet, go check that out. PJ Washington was my guy for the Hornets. And I don't know if they'd be willing to give him away if he's going to play this good. I do think they'd be, able to get a lot potentially better, like a better trade package for him over a guy like Gordon Hayward, say, or whatnot. But I mean, a great game there for PJ Washington. Kelly Oubre had 34 and 3. Terry Rozier chipped in with 28, 5 and 5. Nick Richards off the bench with 13 and 14. So just a solid game there for the Hornets. Not every Mason Plumlee had 2 points and he started. Gordon Hayward only had 13. And then off the bench, other than Nick Richards, nobody scored more than 2 points. So just not a shared amount of love there for the Hornets to be able to get the job done. For the Cavaliers, though, Evan Mobley had a great game, 21, 18, and 5. I really love to see it. I'm hoping he can really start to get going. Jared Allen had 20 and 12. Donovan Mitchell had 30, 4, 4, and 6. 34, 4, and 6 there for Donovan Mitchell. Darius Garland, 41, 6 assists, 5 steals. That's the story there for the Cavaliers. Their four to their 5 starters scored 20 points or more. Phenomenal night there for them, all shooting pretty well. Evan Mobley shot 64%, Jared Allen 72, Donovan Mitchell 50, and Darius Garland 61. So, I mean, you're not going to lose a lot of games when you're shooting that well. That's the moral of the story. The Philadelphia 76ers came out on top over the Milwaukee Bucks 110 to 102. The story of this game is Giannis really struggled from the free throw line again. Shot 4 of 15. He still had 25 and 14. But yeah, I mean, 4 of 15 from the free throw line is really, really bad. They could have easily won that game if he shot better. And I think the clips going around now of him throwing the ladder down out of frustration with him. I think it's more or less he's frustrated with himself. He wanted to be able to get some, reps in after a game and whatever the case is. But you know how Twitter is, they're going to exaggerate it all. Bobby Portis had 21 and 11. Brook Lopez with 15 and 4. He had 4 blocks. Brook Lopez is sneakily making a case for Defensive Player of the Year. Drew Holiday only played 23 minutes. They're trying to get him back into it. He had 10 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists. And for the 76ers, Daniel House had 9. Joel Embiid had another great game, 32, 11, and 8. 12 of 26 from the field. You expect him to shoot better. I mean, he's so big and dominant that you would expect him to be able to have a better percentage from the field. But Brook Lopez did make things difficult for him. Nonetheless, Tyrese Maxey had 24, 4, and 5. George Niang had 17. Shake Milton had 15 off the bench. This is what you come to expect out of this 76ers team that nobody's really seen up to this point, and they've kind of been disappointing. But I'm really hoping things can get turned around here. Um, and like I predicted last night, the Orlando Magic came out on top 108 to 107 over the Chicago Bulls. Jalen Suggs hit the game with the go-ahead game winner with like a second left, maybe. He finished with 25 and 8. Franz Wagner with 20, Wendell Carter with 21 and 8 and 5, and Pro Bowl with 15 and 10, Mo Bamba with 13 off the bench. This is why I've continuously say that this Magic seems fun because they can share the sugar. And they're young and they're inconsistent, but when they're playing well, it's a lot of fun to watch. The defensive versatility and the offensive firepower they have at times, and Bol is a lot of fun to watch. So if you can, check out some Orlando Magic games. The Chicago Bulls 107 there. DeMar DeRozan had 41. Nikola Vucevic with 14, 16, and 7. Ayo Dosunmu with 13. Zach LaVine struggled. He had 4 points, 5 rebounds. He shot 1 of 14 from the field. So a pretty bad night there for Zach LaVine. Kind of an off night there for everyone else as well. Patrick Williams did have 12. Alex Caruso and Andre Drummond had 7 each off the bench. I'm a little worried of what's going to happen here in Chicago. I wouldn't be surprised if Billy Donovan's on the hot seat. I think they need to make a move. I think they need to really try to shake things up and try to get in win now mode. But I don't know how they do that and what they do. So I'm going to be watching closely there in Chicago. The Indiana Pacers came out on top over the Houston Rockets, 99 to 91. Jabari Smith, not Jabari Smith, excuse me. Jalen Smith had 10 and 18. Buddy Hield had 10. Miles Turner, 17 and 7. Tyrese Halliburton, 19, 6 and 8. Benedict Mathurin, 29 minutes. He had 15 points off the bench. He's making a case not only for Rookie of the Year, but also Sixth Man of the Year. So stay tuned because I think we're going to really hit that here soon in the X Factor about, awards after a month in. So be sure to check that out because I've got some interesting facts about Benedict Mathurin and Sixth Man of the Year. Kenyon Martin Jr. had 12 for the Rockets. Jabari Smith Jr. had 12 and 8 for the Rockets as well. Alperen Sengun with 11 and 9. Eric Gordon had 24 and 6. He shot 8 of 17, 1 of 6 from the three-point line. If you did watch that trade video, like I mentioned before, I mentioned him, and I think there will be a market for a guy like him. And I think it's just a matter of time before he's out of there. Jalen Green chipped in with 16, 5 and 5. The Rockets are the worst team in the league. I think it's pretty clear. 13 and 3 and 13 now. The Grizzlies came out on top 121 to 110 over the Thunder. John Morant went out early, I do believe, with an ankle injury or something. He still finished with 19, 7, and 11. Jaren Jackson Jr., we love to see this. 25 and 12. We love to see him finally get going. He's been hurt, really hasn't played much. I think this is like his first week back. It's only his second or third game. So we love to see it there. Dylan Brooks was 16. John Conchar stepped in with Desmond Bane being out for a while, 19 and 10 there. Santi Aldama with 15 and 7. Trey Jones with 13 off the bench. This is what, I really like to see this out of the Grizzlies because as well as Desmond Bane was playing, with him going out, I was really concerned of who's going to step up and take these minutes and take this responsibility. And it seems like a lot of guys scoring 15 or more there. So you love to see it. You love to see the sharing of the sugar there. And if they can keep it up, the Grizzlies can stay consistent and stay right where they are. So I'm interested to see if they're able to do that. Jaren Jackson Jr., if he can stay healthy, I think he can do what he did last night consistently. So we'll see. And for the Thunder, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander kind of had an off night, 15, 6 and 6, 6 of 18 from the field. We'll let it slide. He's been playing phenomenal. Josh Giddey with 26 and 11. Jeremiah Robinson Earl with 14 and 7 off the bench there, and Jalen Williams with 16. This Thunder team's exciting to watch, but they're so young. You never know what you're going to get night to night. They're 7 and 9 on the season. The Celtics, best team in basketball right now, 13 and 3. They went to New Orleans and defeated the Pelicans 117 to 109 For the Celtics, we'll take a look here. Jason Tatum with 19, 7, and 10, shot 6 of 18 from the field. I will say that he has his last couple games struggled from the field, but his stats like 10 rebounds, 10 assists, 7 rebounds. I really love to see that because in my eyes, he's always just been like a score first kind of guy. And as we see, he's trying to figure out, if his shot's not falling, he's figuring out other ways to get involved. So I love to see that there. And that's why he was my MVP pick. I was really hoping to see that step, and I've seen it there. Jaylen Brown, 27, 10, and 7. Derek White steps into this starting lineup and continues to play well. 26 points for him. Al Horford chipped him with 18 and 7 there for the Celtics. And for the Pelicans, Brandon Ingram, 25 and 7. He shot 9 of 20 from the field. I don't like that. I've been willing to cut him some slack because he was injured, but I want to see him shoot better. Jonas Valanciunas with 10 and 4, Herb Jones with 17 and 7, CJ McCollum with 18, 5 and 3, and Larry Nance Jr. off the bench with 16 and 8. This Pelicans team's kind of starting to disappoint me. They're 9 and 7. I really did think they'd be a lot better. There's a lot of weird questions with their offense, and Troy's hit on it kind of throughout our videos this season. So if you haven't checked out all of our videos, go check them out because we hit on different teams every single video, and it's a lot of fun to get into. The Utah Jazz came out on top over the Phoenix Suns, 134 to 133. Another close, fantastic game. Lauri Markkanen comes up huge for the Jazz, hits a tough fadeaway to give them the lead. 38 and 6 for him, 15 of 18. I think it's safe to say, as of right now, he's a lock for most improved. I think you could make a case for Shea. But it's hard to get into right now. But I think I would give it to Lauri Markkanen just because look at where he was last year and look where he is this year, leading a team where nobody thought they'd be any good. But I think we knew Shea had the capability. He just never got to play a whole lot. I've been very, very surprised with Lauri Markkanen, and I love to see it. Jordan Clarkson with 20 for them. Mike Conley, 13 and 10. Malik Beasley off the bench had 27 points, 10 to 17 from the field, 7 to 13 from 3. And for the Suns, the story is Devin Booker, a fantastic night, 49, 8 rebounds, 10 assists. He shot 16 to 31 from the field, only 2 of 9 from 3. So to be able to put up 49 only with 2 3-pointers made, I think that's really impressive. DeAndre Ayton had 17 and 10 with 8 assists. Torrey Craig was 16. Miles Bridges with 13. Mikal Bridges rather in campaign with 17. Off the bench, nobody really stepped up. So I think that's the story there. Just a great game, a great fun watch. And this Jazz team, they're not willing to give up yet. 11 and 6 on the season. The Mavericks came out on top, 127 to 99 over the Denver Nuggets. No Jokic again last night for the Nuggets. No Aaron Gordon as well. No Jamal Murray. Both of those, Jamal Murray and Jokic, are in health and safety protocols, so you'd expect them to be back soon. But for the Nuggets, Michael Porter Jr. struggled. Jeff Green had 12. Kentavious Caldwell Pope with 18. Bruce Brown with 18. Bones Hyland off the bench with 17. So, kind of an off night, but you would expect that, missing 3 of your 5 starters and one that's a top 5 player in the league right now. But for the Mavericks, Luka Doncic, 33, 12, and 11. I kind of predicted a big night from him after resting the game before. Shot 11 to 22 from the field. Christian Wood off the bench had 28 and 8. He wants to, I think he's sneakily making a case for 6th man of the year, continuing to play pretty well. Spencer Dinwiddie with 15, Reggie Bullock with 10, Tim Hardaway Jr. with 13 there. So this was a nice win for the Mavericks. They've kind of lost some close games they could have won. They're 9 and 6 on the season, so it's as easy as of a win it might have been, especially with the score. I think this was an important win because they needed to get a big win to try to get momentum on their side to pick up several wins in a row here. The Warriors beat the Knicks 111 to 101. For the Knicks, Jalen Brunson 13, 5 and 4, Julius Randle 20 and 7, RJ Barrett with 18. Jericho Sims with 10 and 10 off the bench. So this is the story that it is every time I get on here with the Knicks. It's one game Julius Randle goes off, or one game Jalen Brunson goes off, but then it's the next couple games, like Julius Randle didn't play bad. 20 and 7 is not bad. 7 to 15 from the field, but it's just, Jalen Brunson, they gave you a crap ton of money for you to put up 13, 5 and 4. I don't know about that. RJ Barrett, been very disappointing this year. So that's the story there with the Knicks, and it's always going to continue to be the story with the Knicks. For the Warriors, Andrew Wiggins had 20 and 7. Klay Thompson had 20. He shot 50% from the field, so a lot better. Still only 40% from three, but nonetheless, that's a positive sign, I think, because of how bad he's been struggling. Steph Curry with 24, 6 and 10, a big night there from him. Michael Green with 12, Jordan Poole with 13 off the bench. So a nice win there for the Warriors. They're sitting at 7 and 9 now as well. I think that was an important win because they could have easily lost this one. Klay, it seemed like he finally is getting rolling a little bit. I mean, it's not much, but it's a positive sign to take away. I think the Warriors needed that win there last night. In the last game from last night, the Lakers come out on top 128 to 121 over the Pistons. The Lakers really tried everything they could to give this game to the Pistons. This claim was really close in the end. And Austin Reeves really, I think, pulled the Lakers out. It was a close game, and it seemed like when momentum could have easily shifted to the Pistons, he got going, scored a couple buckets in a row. He finished with 16. Anthony Davis had 38 and 16. Russell Westbrook had 10 and 12 off the bench. Lonnie Walker with 17. And Wenyen Gabriel with 15 and 7 off the bench. Dennis Schroeder and Thomas Bryant are back. They both played 13 minutes and 14 minutes. Schroeder finished with 2 and 2. Thomas Bryant with 8 and 5. I don't like Schroeder on this team. I don't think there's going to be a trade market for him either. So I don't know what they're really going to do, but I don't like him on this team with this roster. And for the Pistons, Killian Hayes had a good night. He's been really quiet up to this point and really struggled, and a lot of people have been really hard on him. He finished with 18 and 9. I'm happy to see that there. Bogdanovich finished with 26 and 5. Jaden Ivey with 17, Marvin Bagley with 11. Alec Burks played really well for this Pistons team. He really tried to pull them out. He finished with 23 off the bench. Hamidou Diallo, if you saw, he got his front tooth knocked out. It was pretty gnarly. Took a hit from, I can't remember off the top of my head what Laker player it was. I think it was Thomas Bryant, actually. But they got a picture, and his front tooth is dangling. It was pretty nasty. He finished with 13. This Pistons team's really disappointed me. As if you know, I was really high on them coming into this season. I thought they were going to be a sneaky team. And their season, it's not the case. They're 3 and 14 now on the year. So we've got 5 games to get into here for tonight. Starting at 6 o'clock, the Raptors travel to Atlanta to take on the Hawks. I think this will be a fun game. I'm going to take the Raptors. I think Trae Young's really struggled from the field, and the Raptors have a lot of lengthy guys to really make it difficult for him. And I'm interested to see what happens here in Atlanta. John Collins has now been in rumors again. I wonder if that affects anything, but I'm going to take the Raptors. 7 o'clock, the Magic take on the Pacers. I'm going to take the Pacers here. I think Miles Turner has a big game. I think it will be interesting to see him and Wendell Carter face up and play against each other. That potentially could be a really good matchup. I expect these guards for the Pacers to really have control of the game. 7:30, the 76ers host the Timberwolves. I'm going to take the 76ers. It was a big win for them last night. I think they keep momentum rolling against a bad Timberwolves team. At 10 o'clock, the Trailblazers host the Utah Jazz. This is going to be a fun game. I have trouble picking this one. I think Lauri Markkanen could go off again 2 nights in a row. But I'm going to go with the Trailblazers here. I think we see a big night from Damian Lillard and even potentially Jeremy Grant. He struggled their last game after playing really well for a while. So give me the Trailblazers. And last at 10:30, the Clippers take on the San Antonio Spurs. Give me the Clippers. They need a big win. They lost the other night. I don't like it. I don't like what's going on in LA, and they really, really, really need to win games like this. So give me the Clippers there. But that's going to do it. Have a great Saturday, everybody. Have a great weekend. We got a lot of stuff coming your way. Go check out all our videos. Tell some friends about X Factor Nation. Like I said, we appreciate all the love we've been getting. Let's keep it going. Let's keep this thing going. We're here for you guys. We're going to have a lot of stuff coming your way. Have a good night. Have a good weekend. We'll see you tomorrow.